And another thing he would do, which
Would you grab my water right
tells me it was calculated and he knew what he was doing. You have to understand, we've already said these kids are separated from their peers.
Right.
They're separated from their parents most of the time. Bella and Marta Caroli and their coaches are hard asses.
Oh, yeah.
He was the good guy. He'd sneak them candy.
He'd sneak 'em.
And they showed videos of him like,
oh, they're horrible.
you know, like when he'd be like examining an injury or taping an injury.
They shouldn't be so
he'd
rough
be like
on y'all.
real playful, innocently playful.
Oh, not like flirty playful?
No, just so that he was the good guy, you know?
Like he's grooming them?
Exactly like he's grooming them. And, you know, because they're you know, everything was so like regimented, like even everything they ate, and they weren't allowed any kind of treats. And I mean, these are kids, they're little girls. And so when he'd have them come into his office for a thing, you know, he'd let them leave with a treat or a candy bar and go back to their dorm, and it became a way to just, well, he wouldn't do that. He cares about me. He wants me to be happy. I mean, it was just so insidious, y'all. I mean, he took that trust that everybody naturally feels for a doctor, and he just ramped that up and just...
And I'm talking, this stuff was going on for decades. I mean, we went back and we were talking about the class at the Olympics with Mary Lou Retton.
Right.
Remember Dominic Dawes, the real pretty black girl that just was amazing. She won a gold medal. Turns out she was a victim.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Turns out he had 500 athletes that he molested, and 9 were Olympic winners.
So why, then, did he only get, what was it, 2 60-year sentences? That's 3 months per fucking...
Okay, here's
victim.
what it was. When they laid out the charges, one of the charges was something about going out of the country with the intent to perform these acts.
Because, y'all, he did this at the London Olympics.
Yeah. During the Olympics. And
Rio,
one of the charges was that. Something about that.
Crossing international borders.
Yeah.
And it would have made it a federal crime.
I think
they didn't want it to do federal time.
And so they worked hard.
It probably would have made it an international crime.
Yeah, but
they said for sure it would have been a
federal time.
crime.
They wanted him to do hard time.
Yeah. And
what's the difference?
Federal prison is...
federal prison's like a country club.
Country club. Yeah. And,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, and another thing, like, you hear about it, I didn't realize this, but like, okay, this Athlete A, because they used her because when she came forward, they were trying to protect her at first, you know.
Well, she was a minor.
She was a minor at the time.
That's what
but it's not like he would only see a girl if she was injured.
Right.
No. They did preventative medicine.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
So they would train like 12, 13 hours a day. So he'd see her in the morning, every girl. On the table.
I mean, they would show one.
Busy.
They would show one coming off the table and another one coming in and getting on.
So
the table.
they would see the same girl maybe 3 or 4 times a day. For years.
Jesus.
But
Christ.
anyway, the question about the time.
Well, what about
that? Would have made it a federal crime. So they didn't want him doing federal time. So, and I'm sure they were like, oh, well, you know,
we'd rather get him on this and know we can lock him
down. But they had. He was convicted. Then they had the sentencing hearing. At the sentencing hearing, they invited every girl
500 of them?
Ever had this done.
They all had the
There
chance
was like
if they wanted it.
125 of them that came up and made a statement.
They basically just,
during his sentencing.
Yeah, and they all read their thing, and he just had to sit there and listen to it.
And the judge was like, 2 60-year consecutive terms. You're not getting out of prison.
Not concurrent. And, they showed... You know what? Well, I know you know what K-tape is. The kinesio tape.
Yeah, where they...
hold things together with the tape. Well,
don't we have some right here?
Probably. I've got some at home.
Used to.
Or maybe in the bedroom.
Probably used to.
But...
Yeah, because we had it for your shoulder.
They showed a girl...
Yeah, that...
and I mean, this was just archival footage, you know. They showed a girl, maybe 11. him taping her pubic mound onto her thigh to stabilize. I mean, it was just a reason to touch little girls, y'all. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't, they had it blurred where you couldn't see, but you could see the tape and what he was doing, and he's describing it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, no,
I mean, just, like, that don't even look right what he's doing there. What's that going to help, you know?
Yeah, like, what, she's going to dislocate her vagina? And trust me, I've tried. I've never...
no matter how many flips I do, motherfucker's just right in place.
Oh, Mr. Ross has tried to dislocate my stuff. But,
Jesus Christ.
That's right. That's for you, Austin.
You know he's not the only one that hears this.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
I got no shame.
We know.
But... I lost myself. Okay. Like, one girl on her victim impact statement, he tried to say she had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome because he could get his whole hand in her vagina.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, it's human children come out of it, so it's naturally stretchy.
It'll stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it'll push a bowling ball out
my
of it.
My thing is, though, that, okay, the doctor's name is Larry Nassar.
Okay.
He's been convicted. He's never getting out of prison.
Hopefully he's getting ass raped every day.
Oh, I hope so.
Like a lot.
But here's my thing.
I hope they're relocating his coccyx every day.
Yeah, by Bubba Thick Dick and his boys.
Some water.
She just closed the door. It's fine.
No, it just said she was.
So he took advantage of a situation.
Yeah.
But there's all of these other people involved that created an atmosphere
like that Steve guy that was the president
for him to take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, they laid it out on the platter.
I think so too.
And they can't claim they didn't know because they were first notified in '96.
See that?
Okay, but
then every instance from '96 until he was caught,
but
they should be charged as accessories.
Here's the thing: they can't prove that because the stuff that goes back as far as '96, there was never any paper trail on it. If there was, it was destroyed. No evidence that it ever existed. Whatever.
So because there were coaches, like former coaches, that testified, like, I personally went to them and I said I thought I saw him be inappropriate with a child, and they were like, well, I'm sorry, we can't take your word for it.
That's just
the child or a parent has to make a formal statement and sign it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's fucked up. If anybody that you place in a position of trust says, I think I saw...
Over a minor.
Yeah.
That person is a mandated reporter.
Well, right. And you've placed them in a position of trust over that minor, so you have imbued them with authority.
Right.
And then in the same breath, you say, well, I don't think you have the authority to say that you saw that. What now?
Yeah.
That's just, to me, that's just a way to make an environment for little kids to get harmed.
They are mandated reporters as they are in charge of the children are in their charge.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you're the head motherfucker in the group, and I say, hey, look, I think I saw this, and they're like, oh well, fucking sorry. All right, good talk, and I'm going to the fucking police and be like, I saw this. I told him. He told me to go fuck off. So you need to go look into this right the fuck now.
And I totally agree. They did not go far enough. It's watch bands. They
look like dongs.
Dildos.
No, they're Apple Watch bands. Y'all are some perverted motherfuckers.
No, it looks. I can see the head.
Yeah.
No,
I can see there's the fireman's cap right there. All right.
That's not a dong. That's where the watch goes.
Well, it's built like a dong.
Maybe you just see dongs everywhere.
No, just where there are dongs.
Hey, if you got dong on the brain, they everywhere.
If you go out looking for dick,
dong, you're going to find a
you're
dong.
seeing everything through the filter of
dick.
But no, seriously, if you go to the next person in your chain of command and you say, hey, look, this is what I saw, and they blow you off. Okay, thanks for your time. And you go to the motherfucking police or if people aren't listening, that's
or
when a state social worker or fucking someone.
Yeah.
You don't let children continue to be victimized for 20 years.
No. And here's the deal. Okay. Larry Nassar, the whole time that he worked for, he was actually technically, which I didn't get this,
a volunteer.
Because they said he retired in 2016. He resigned, retired, whatever.
Hell, I'll do this for free.
But
Dirty
they
old
also
fuck.
said
No,
the whole 20-something years that he did this, he was a volunteer.
Well, that's so they could distance themselves from any liability.
Yeah, but he was still in their employ, even as a volunteer, and he was abusing kids in their facility.
Doing their working under the aegis of their umbrella.
Right.
Okay. But the whole time he was there doing all this, he was the sports medicine doctor for Michigan State University.
And by God, if girls college girls weren't saying, by God, he's doing inappropriate stuff. He's touching us inappropriately. Yeah. They made complaints.
You would think after the Sandusky shit.
No, I know.
That
because
any university would have taken that seriously immediately.
2015.
When did Sandusky get sent to prison? It was 2013.
So it was all around the same.
So. Yeah.
But you would think that after that, every university would have been hyper aware.
Terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
Like college girls were going, he's doing this stuff and he's got an erection and he's putting it on my leg.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they went to the campus police.
Athlete A reported to her direct coach.
Okay.
That this was going on.
So Athlete A wasn't an Olympian. She was a Michigan State.
She was actually
was on.
Okay.
Yeah, she was actually at the Olympic trials, and she came in 6th.
So she should have been an alternate?
So she should have at least been an alternate, the first alternate. But that was while all this was going on.
So
she just got shunned.
They took the people that ranked under her as alternates and just left her out.
Who is they?
The people at the U.S.
Bella Caroli, Marta Caroli, the U.S. Gymnastics
They
Association.
should have had charges pressed against them.
Oh, just wait.
Her speaking up cost her a chance at the Olympics.
Yeah.
But the good news is she decided to leave the elite gymnastics world and she went
to Oklahoma.
She went to the college gymnastics
NCAA
world,
and has won that motherfucker 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So she
has
knew
won
her
the
shit.
team and the individual.
But she could also sue the Corolla family for punitive damages.
And I mean, there's still stuff going on, but here's the deal.
Because if she could prove that they knew about it, she could own their
Athlete A, her name was Maggie.
Okay.
She had started at 3 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah. She reported 2015 to her direct coach.
Okay. At Michigan State.
No. Nasser was the one involved in Michigan State.
No, but but wait.
I thought she went to Michigan.
No,
all right.
No. Okay.
Coach wherever she was at, yep.
Her direct coach.
Mm-hmm. Penny.
Penny.
Dreadful.
She did not report to the police, which she should have.
Yeah.
But her thought was, well, let me report this to my direct superior, who was like the coordinator for all the coaches.
Well, and here's what she did. Because
that's hard because that coach did the right thing. She took it straight up. Yeah.
Well, and what she did was she didn't see something. She heard the girl. She heard Athlete A and another girl
talking about it happening.
She was talking to another girl, Simone, who was on the Olympic.
Simone Biles.
Okay, I couldn't remember her last name.
Simone Biles.
She heard, because Simone, I think, was 2 years older than this Maggie girl, and so she kind of looked up to her, and she was like, well, he's doing this stuff to me, and it makes me feel really weird, but I don't know if it's, and she was like, he's doing it to me too. And that coach heard that conversation. So she tried to run it up the chain of command, and it kept getting kind of...
Oh, okay. Then in that case, she should have gone straight to the fucking police.
She went to the parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
she did report to the parents.
Okay, that's reasonable too.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't just sit on it. At least
the parents, before they called the police, called Steve Penny. I think it's Steve.
No, it wasn't Steve. Penny was the coach. I don't know what his name was. Steve something. I see his smarmy ass face.
Who was the CEO and whatever the hell else
and director,
the United States Gymnasts Association.
Okay.
So they called him. Well, he's a marketing guy. That's his background.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he was all about appearances. So the first thing he did was definitely shut them down and tell them that he was reporting it to the FBI and there would be an investigation.
And y'all don't need to say anything because it's a delicate investigation. If you let anything go, you could fuck it up.
You could mess up our chances of getting him. Yeah.
and he fucking didn't do anything.
He sat on it for
he